Warning! The winner of Big Brother is...
Good evening, and welcome to the live season finale podcast of Big Brother. And welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast finale of the summer podcast for BB19. I am your host, Big Brother historian and superfan Luke Labagnera, coming to you live from East Haven, Connecticut. With me, my fellow podcasters, Big Brother team, and super historian fans, Dom Greco, coming to you live of East Haven, Connecticut.
Hello.
Coming to you live from Los Angeles, California, Jacob Salazar.
Hey, bitch.
Hey, babies. Well...
What's going on, meatballs?
What's up, meatballs? Well, after 92 consecutive straight days inside the Big Brother house, it is now time to reveal the winner of Big Brother. As a reminder, everyone, and as a reminder to the final two, Paul and Josh, the winner will receive $500,000, and the runner-up, $50,000. I will pull each key from the voting box to reveal whom each juror has decided on who should win Big Brother. The first vote comes from Christmas, and her vote goes to Paul to be the winner of Big Brother. Kevin has cast his vote also for Paul to be the winner of Big Brother. Next vote was cast by Raven, and her vote goes to Paul. Remember, it takes 5 votes to win. Matt has cast his vote for Paul to be the winner of Big Brother 19. Alex has cast her vote for Josh to be the winner of Big Brother. Jason has cast his vote also for Josh to be the winner of Big Brother. Mark has cast his vote for Josh. Elena has cast her vote also for Josh to be the winner of Big Brother. It all comes down to Cody. Congratulations, Josh. You are the winner of Big Brother. So,
fucking meatballs.
Lucky Meatballs is correct. And I so called that on finale night. I just knew that it was going to be deja vu for Paul all over again, and in the exact same order he lost to Nicole last season.
Yeah. I wanted Paul to win because he was actually playing the game. Yes, it was very one-sided, but he was playing the game. At the same token, I'm glad that he didn't win because he was playing a very one-sided game.
And a dirty game, for that matter.
So, I don't know. Like, I had mentioned last podcast that we did that if Paul wanted to actually win, what he needed to do was during his pick, when he selected, he needed to pull Josh or Christmas, one of them, off the block and put Kevin, or pull Kevin off the block, rather, and put Josh and Christmas both on the block. That would have left Paul and Kevin. He would 100% been able to manipulate Kevin's vote, tell Kevin what to do, because Kevin has listened to him all season long. Kevin would have voted out Josh, and then it would have been 3 people in, the competitions. Christmas had little chance of winning the physical competition,
right.
But she ended up winning the endurance competition anyway. But you don't know that, because based on what we've seen from previous years, the physical competitions were pretty intense. There were ones, all the way back in season 8 with swimming and, all kinds of stuff. They were very, very intense. So if Paul had taken Kevin, and Kevin voted Josh out, that would have left Paul, Kevin, and Christmas as the final people.
The final three.
Yeah. You could pretty much take Christmas out of the equation. Paul was going to beat Christmas when it came down to everything. Which he did. And then it would have been left with Paul and Kevin. And Paul should have taken Kevin, because if he put himself up against Christmas, everybody would have voted for Christmas out of sympathy. So you put Kevin up, who's literally done nothing. No, I can't say no one would have voted for him, but I guarantee you less people would have voted for him than they did for Josh. So
right.
Paul would have secured his win had he had done that. That was his mistake.
Did you see the reaction when the fifth vote went to Josh and Paul was just like, oh, but as a man, he stood up and he gave Josh a hug, but it was
Josh... before that, when he realized it was 4-4 and he knew the person breaking the tie was Cody. He knew before Julie even revealed who it was. He knew how that vote was falling.
Yeah, and something? I'm not shocked, because this is Big Brother, and like last year, you remember on the fifth key, which was Davon's key, for her vote was for Nicole to win Big Brother. Her and Nicole were arch rivals. I mean, yeah. Davon could not stand Nicole. She voted for her. And same thing with Cody. Cody and Josh were arch rivals this season, but yet he said, I think when Cody's so blunt, he goes, I'm a man of my word. He just pops the key into the box. So I'm like, he has to have voted for Josh. It has to be true. Mm-hmm. There was no way he was going to vote for Paul. He didn't like Paul from day one.
Nope.
But, speaking of which, before we go any further, it is time to reveal America's favorite house guest. And with I can't remember how many votes, it was between Kevin, Jason, and Cody. And with 2 days to vote, America has finally cast the final vote within the hour. So, who will it be? Let's find out. America's favorite player and house guest. Congratulations, Cody! You have won $25K. So
America, you've done something right.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I was very, very pleased with that.
So am I. You know something? I mean, he was like so blasé. He was like, his reaction was like, I don't get it. How did I win?
Because you're not fake as fuck, Cody. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, duh. I mean, what kind of stupid question is that? I wanted to slap him upside the head. I'm like, dumbass, you may not have won this game, but you got something better that is worth more than $500,000. You won a great girl who I could see him marrying, and he also won $25K that America handed to him on a silver platter. Mm-hmm. I gave 5 votes for him.
Yeah.
I mean, did you guys give your votes to Cody too, or you guys didn't vote online?
No, I voted for Cody.
You voted for Cody? Well, at least we had votes that counted that were in our hands, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But it was another epic season of Big Brother. I loved the season of Temptations. Well, it was controversial. I know you didn't like it, Jacob, because you even said you hated this cast. You said this cast.
You know what? Okay, out of all the seasons, this has been one of them.
One of them. Okay. What did you not like, all in all, about this season, Jacob? I love hearing your opinions. Come on.
Here's the thing. The show itself is nothing without the cast. That's what the show is. The season is not going to be great unless there's a great cast, because without the cast, there's no show. So if you have a terrible ass cast, then the season's not going to be good. And the problem
with the casting in general, though, is when you're casting these people, you get an over dramatized version of them, and you don't know how they interact with each other person. They try to keep these people as separated as possible, so they don't know each other going into the house. They can't form
Well, Raven knew Paul
friendships.
before.
She knew him as like a fan. You know, it's like who didn't know Paul going into the house.
Right.
She
Yeah, but
met
they were-
him. She met him at one of his concerts and took a picture with him with his band. You know, whatever. But before or after a gig, it's not like they hung out and
They didn't.
like. No, they didn't. They didn't. She literally met him at one of his shows, took a picture with him, met him that night, and has not been in contact with him since.
Right. But it's kind of crazy how you could keep secrets and keep them all season long on a season of Big Brother. Like, say, for example, last year on Big Brother Over the Top, Morgan Willett and Alex Willett were sisters, but going into the house, one came in at a time. That's how the show started. Neither of them knew each other. They pretended they had no idea who they were. Like, they just completely, like, acted like they were strangers, and they kept that a secret all season long.
It's
So,
just
and-
that it's just that to like feel out how the cast is going to be before the show starts is close to impossible. That is why they cast certain stereotypes, because they know that certain interactions with these stereotypes will always trigger said responses, or similar responses. But the stereotype is not the person themselves. So it's really, really hard to do that. And all of the interviews that you go to, because I've been to a Big Brother casting session in person, and all of the people that you meet at those casting sessions, they're over-stylized, over-the-top personalities. That's not how they are 24/7 in a house where you can't keep up a facade the whole time. So it's really hard for them to plan that out ahead of time.
Yeah, but see,
Right.
the problem isn't with the casting directors. The casting people are not the problem, because they have they have no idea what the fuck is going to go on. But the problem is, at the end of the day, the cast does what the cast wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on them whether or not I'm going to like a season, and I
Right.
fucking hate this season. It's because I fucking hate these people,
Right.
except for Cody and Jess. And here's why: Cody and Jess are not fake. They're not phony. They own up to every single thing that they do. Cody, right out of the gate, says, "I don't like Paul. I'm not going to pretend like I like Paul, and this is my plan to get him out." He could have, and out of everyone in the house, he's the only one who ever wanted to get Paul out, and he's the only one who actively tried to get Paul out. And he didn't sugarcoat anything. He didn't say "Oh, it's not personal," yada yada yada. It was personal because you didn't like him. But you fully admit that. You didn't give some bullshit reason why you were trying to get him out, because you didn't like the guy. And Jess,
So-
on the other hand, she didn't take shit from Cody either. When Cody does something wrong, she calls him out and says, "You're doing this. I don't like it. I'm gonna separate myself from you, and I'm not gonna act like everything's okay." And these two are the only ones who stood up for themselves, played their own damn game, and when they did something wrong, they said, "I'm sorry, I did this wrong thing. I know I shouldn't have done that, but it's what I do. But I acknowledge that it was wrong. I'm apologizing now. I'm apologizing to you, the person. I'm not apologizing to the camera. I'm not apologizing for America. I'm apologizing to you because I'm looking at you right now. I am sorry."
Right.
Every
And
single other person in the house did not do that.
That's not entirely true. The only other two people that came close were not 100% like that, but came close to that was Jason and Alex.
How do you mean?
They were close. They went back and forth. "Alex, you're stupid. You're a fool." Anytime Jason did something wrong, she let him have it. So that it's not entirely because they were listening to other people. They weren't playing the game entirely for themselves. So it's not 100% what Jake's saying, but they're not the only person that were real, to each other.
Right.
To each other, but not to everyone else.
Yeah.
Jacob makes a good point, though. As much as I thought Cody was narcissistic, but in a way, he's not really narcissistic in his head because he's real. He's not narcissistic on purpose. That he just tells it as it is. Jessica's the exact same way. So
The most
they're the
narcissistic
only-
person in the house is Paul.
Yeah, I mean, but Paul's a bullshitter. He sugarcoats anything to get himself further in the game. Am I right?
Well, Paul told lies that he didn't need to tell. Now,
Exactly.
Here's the thing in this game. You have to lie.
Yeah, you have
do
to.
this game. You have to. But they need to be essential lies, and they need to be lies that benefit you. If they don't benefit you or anybody else for whatever reason, they're just lies that you tell for the fuck of it, then people can call you a liar. But they can't call you a liar if you lie on merit of this is part of my game, because that's just playing the game. If you lie for something you don't need to, then you're just a liar.
Right.
Like Raven.
What about
Like Raven. We will get to Raven later, though. That's a
like,
whole other
say, for
thing.
example, do you think it was personal that Jason went against his word and didn't use the power of veto on Raven to save her when he said he would? Do you think that was an exceptional lie or no? And do you think they had a right to react to Jason the way they did and yell and scream at him?
I think they had a right to react the way they did, but I also don't think Jason did that maliciously. I think he legitimately forgot that he said that to Raven.
Do you think that's true, though? Do you think
I
he really...
100% think he
People
forgot.
forget shit all the time. These people are like mentally unstable. They've seen literally nobody else for the past 3 months. They're horny as hell. They're gonna forget things.
Yeah, they are.
Well, yeah, because
like,
remember, you're cut off from the outside world, so you just have each other. And when you look at each other 24/7, no TV, no whatever, you're cut off literally from the outside world. You only have each other. You're gonna go nuts.
Here's a really good example. Luke, what did you have for dinner last week? Tuesday night.
Okay, I'll admit it. I can't remember.
Okay, so you can't even remember what you had for dinner last week, let alone what somebody may have said to somebody a week ago. Like, granted that's 7 days, but like what we're seeing on TV from the eviction, from the veto to the or from the nominations to the veto is like 1 day on TV. And it's not. It's like 4 days for them in the house,
So you're saying he could have forgotten that he said that after 4 or 5 days?
Oh, yeah. Hands down.
Oh, okay. You make a fair point there. You do. But do you think that's why Jessica and Cody didn't get further in this game other than Cody making it to jury because they always told the truth and they didn't lie?
Well, the reason why they got out of the house because people wanted them out of the house. And the people who were in power, they had a plan to get them out, and they did.
Well, it's also because
you could say
they were real and they didn't sugarcoat things and they were very open with everything that paints a target on them.
And they didn't want to. The other people in the house are like, okay, they're different, get them out, because they didn't want to go with the rest of the house, and the rest of the house said, no, we can't have that. So goodbye.
Do you think that was fair? Do you think that was unfair of the other side of the house against Jess and Cody?
Oh no, like that's not unfair. This is how the game goes.
Right.
It's completely fair because that's how the game works. If the house wants you out, they're gonna vote you out and the only way you can save yourself is by campaigning, winning a competition, or you have like some kind of power. It all really people can say, well, you should have done this to save yourself, but really the power lies in the people who have the votes. And if they choose to vote you out, then you're out. I'm sorry.
Yep. Like I said, the only real way that Paul could have 100% manipulated a better chance for himself was when he controlled all the power there at the end, with the veto. And he could have pulled Kevin off the block and controlled the outcome of almost the entire game from that one move. If he pulled Kevin off, he could have totally changed everything. It would have been a different... Josh wouldn't have even been involved in the finale if he did that.
No, but you know something? Out of all fairness, I know you guys are going to disagree with me. I'm kind of happy Josh won because he was getting picked on all season. He was, not all season, but he was just getting bullied, and he bullied as well. But I think he got more of the bullying first.
He painted this weird target on himself at the very beginning because he just, nobody was even mentioning him. And he just, flipped out on... was her name Megan? I don't even remember.
That was during the attempt.
He just flipped out on her the first week and goes, I know you're targeting me. I know the whole house is against me. Out of nowhere, there was no basis for that whatsoever. He just painted this big target of I'm the victim right off the bat. Well, and then he started attacking everyone.
He's the one who starts shit, and then he runs away crying at the end of it.
Exactly. So he started this whole thing. And then everybody, starts, reassuring or attacking him based on that. And then he plays victim off of it.
Well, everyone tried to reassure him at first that, when he started doing that. But then people were like, okay, we're not dealing with their shit anymore.
Yeah. So he painted that target on himself. I like Josh. I'm not trying to be negative about him. I do like Josh.
I liked him too.
I think the way he played the game was underhanded, but that's still a form of playing the game. There's no right or wrong way to play the game. You can choose to play the game however you want. You could choose whatever strategy you want. Is it morally wrong? Those are totally different things to go off of. But this is still a game at the core of it.
He didn't float his way to the end. You
no,
don't think,
not exactly.
No,
He didn't float, but somebody did carry him there.
he was carried.
But
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
not to say not to say he didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, he definitely did a lot. He did a lot. And mind games, manipulation, pots and pans, all that stuff that he was doing. That's still that's a form of playing the game.
I don't think those are mind games. I think he's just fucking stupid. And
No,
funny.
they're definitely mind games because they're getting into people's psyche.
Do you think that production actually? I just have this gut feeling that was all staged. The pots and pans. I mean, who
Yes,
in the
it was
right?
I don't know.
It was
I
staged
think-
by Paul, though. Paul encourages that shit. And,
I thought production had to have done that.
no, production wouldn't do that. See, what production does is they don't outright tell people to do certain things, but what they do is they instigate. Productions, they ask you a question in the diary room. They say, hey, what do you think of this? And wouldn't you like to do this? But they don't outright say to somebody, go do this thing.
Yeah, they plant a lot of seeds.
Okay, so that was Josh's all doing the pots and pans. You know,
Yeah,
Maybe production told him, hey, Jess and Cody are, they're in the room. Like, don't you want to go say something to them? Don't you want to go do something to them? But, it was his idea to get the pots and pans and start banging them in people's faces.
yep, that was
Right.
all him. And then
And at one point,
after he
they had
did it, then Paul was instigating. Oh, it might be time for the pots and pans again. So
right,
Paul was
'cause
instigating.
Because when Jessica decided that the only time I remember him doing that was when Jessica got paranoid and said, you know what, it doesn't matter. This Thursday, you got us up on the block. I'm wasting your HOH, Paul. I'm using the halting hex, whether you like it or not. He's like, she wants to be that way. Let's play Big Brother. Get out the pots and pans.
Yep.
And
So-
then Josh opened the door and she's playfully throwing the apples at him. Ba, 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 da, 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 ba, ba, da, 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 ba.
Yeah. Yep.
What else did you guys want to talk about from the finale? What did you think of the competitions? Though, don't say it, Dom. Part 1, I don't want to hear that unicorn
Poop.
scenario. Yes, don't say it. Oh my god. Now that you mentioned that, the creepiest thing happened. Not to get off base here, but speaking of that unicorn competition, it reminded me when I was in that, Sugar Bakery over here in East Haven, Dom?
Yeah.
They had a unicorn cupcake with the unicorn colors like you saw on the Big Brother finale. Guess what the cupcake was called? Unicorn poop.
Yep.
I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god, Dom, don't mention it. Don't mention it. And they said that it stunk when that stuff was being sprayed at them from the unicorn ass.
yeah.
I mean, do you think they put
Because
something
production was like, this season was shit, so here's a, visual representation of the season.
Yeah. No, they make
But
they make fart or shit scented sprays that
They do.
yeah, because I used to have them in like elementary school. That's how far back these things go for me, in elementary school, and used to spray them on like people's pencils and stuff like that. And
You mean those bomb things?
no, they weren't bombs. It was a spray. It was a spray. It was like
They weren't.
no, it was meant to look like a mouth spray. Like do you remember Banaka from back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was meant to look like something like that. So if people sprayed and then it was bad.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I only remember stink bombs back in school. Those are the only things I could remember. But
No, so
yeah.
I'm sure they glitter coated this one.
Oh yeah, I mean, I what was the second part of the part 2 of the HOH competition? It was in the castle, right? And that slingshot, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, Josh was really getting into it. I mean, he won part 2, I believe, and then in part 3 on finale night, it was on that scale between. And I knew Josh was going to become the final HOH. I just knew it because he's good at memory. Paul really isn't, right?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say. See, this isn't a season. The very last competition that they always do with scales, and the who said what. These are not things that people have said during the season. These are questions that were asked privately by production in jury. So it's not about memory. It's a crapshoot. they just have to guess.
It's
What
do
they
you
said.
know this person well enough to
Yeah.
think this is something they would say?
Yeah.
Right, because you've been in the house with them for 90
But
something
then again, they ask the question first, get the answer, and then they write the phony answer that's similar to the answer that they gave. So like, it's not even do you know this person well enough, because though they're both things that they would say, you just gotta like hope that you guess right.
Yeah. Well, they're usually what would this person say, and it's still in the style of what they would say. It's just opposite ends of the spectrum. So it's what do you know them well enough to know what their answer would be? Like, is it yes or no? Just stylized more in their speech pattern than yes or no.
And I don't like this competition. Personally, I would prefer an endurance competition, even though they're kind of boring to watch, or like a competition of skill or a puzzle, because I like it when it's the final two and they duke it out and it's all about, well, who wants it more.
Yep. I think like how they have the endurance competition is number one.
I think that should be the last one.
Well, I think the endurance is fine as number one. I think number two should be the question one.
Mm-hmm.
And number three should be a more physical one instead of an endurance one. Like, I don't know.
No, you're right.
Or they could do. I would like this, because in Survivor they do this for like the final challenge, where they incorporate all the elements from previous challenges into one challenge.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So like, there's a maze that you got to get through, and then there's a puzzle, and then you got to go through the maze to get the
which
certain puzzle
they kind of
pieces.
did
And
in
the puzzle-
season, I think it was 8 with Evil Dick and Danielle. They had like the underwater. It was like an underwater like section
kind of like that.
with keys and stuff on the ground, and they had to match them to the person, and like, so there was an element. There was a physical part to that. There was a memory part to that. There was a little bit of a puzzle element to it. There was a lot to that particular one. So that I feel like should be the final one instead of like leaving it up. But I think the problem with that is they try to save that competition for the live show, and the question is the only one that you can appropriately time to fit in the context of the thing. If they did a physical competition like that, it would have to be something that they could put a time limit on and be like, the person who got the most right in this amount of time would do it. That's really all they could do.
I guess so.
I guess you're right, but
Because if you don't do it live, then people are going to know the results beforehand.
right. But getting into after all the winners were revealed, Julie made a big announcement. You don't have to wait until next summer to get your Big Brother fix, because this winter we are bringing you Celebrity Big Brother, ever for the first time in the U.S.
Yeah, do we have any updates on rumors to those?
I have heard a few rumors.
But like nothing. There's no official
no-
like cast list or anything, or like anything about how the season's going to work, or any twists that they might do. There's nothing about that.
Here's
Just
the
at this point.
Here's the cast rumors I heard. I heard Betty White was a potential, Neil Patrick Harris, Lance Bass, Lindsay Lohan.
Wait,
and-
she's out of jail?
What?
As long as there's no driving competitions.
No, but I can't.
Well, they
I'm
can't do
looking
that anyway.
to see what it's going to be
Kidding.
like. I mean,
Well,
you guys watch.
I'm gonna make a cast list of like who I want to be on the show.
Me too.
But this is all about who's available.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So like, just I want us to all have one or two people who we want to be on Celebrity Big Brother.
Is it factoring in who's available? Because if
No,
it
just
is, I was going to say, if
who
it
you
is,
want.
you can basically rule out any TV show that has a winter break, because
It could be anybody that you think would be good on the show. Okay, so I have two that I think they would make for good TV, and I just think, and personally, I love them.
Mhm.
So I'm going with Aisha Tyler.
Mhm.
For those of you, some of you might know her from Friends, or she does stand up, or she's on The Talk, and she does Whose Line Is It Anyway? She hosts that show. hilarious person, and she's like she's also a director now. She's done like a lot of things, and she's hilarious, and I think she'd be really fun in the DR.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
And
Who else?
then the other person that I have is Rebel Wilson,
Rebel Wilson. He
for
would be
Pitch
good.
Perfect fans.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, this is something they could possibly do too. Like Celebrity Big Brother UK, they had 2 Americans this past season inside the house. One was a YouTuber, and the other one was from, I don't know, Gangster Wives or something, or Mob Wives.
Oh yeah, the Mob Wives.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Mob Wives. That was, oh my god, I forgot their names. I know one was Trisha, and the other one was Marissa, I want to say. And, so this season, if I have to see somebody from another country, I'd like to see Arissa Cox, the host of Big Brother Canada.
I like that.
Yeah,
She can-
Arissa Cox. I'd like to see Arissa Cox. I'd love to see maybe bring in a few of the Canadian house guests, like maybe Peter or Gary. Who could I
See,
think of from?
I personally would exclude any Big Brother contestants. I don't consider them celebrities. Hosts
Some
are a
people
different
do.
story. I will agree with hosts, but other players from other countries, I don't think so.
Now, I'm trying to think of who else would be good. I don't know why they considered Betty White. I mean, she's kind of old. I mean,
They always
Yeah,
put an older
but-
person in those.
Well, Betty White is hilarious.
she's in her 80s,
Yeah.
almost 90s.
Yeah.
Who would I like? Maybe who I would like to see. You guys would probably disagree because he's deaf. From Dancing with the Stars and America's Next Top Model, Niall DeMarco.
He
I
could
can
do
see
it.
that.
Yeah, I mean, if he could win America's Next Top Model and be deaf, then he could win Big Brother and be deaf.
But those are 2 different shows.
Yeah.
I know, but he could have an
They would have to have
interpreter.
somebody signing stuff to him, but I see that being fine. They could still do that.
I think that would be unique.
For me, I can't narrow it down to like 2. I have 4.
Who?
Billy Eichner. I absolutely love him. Most of you know him as Billy on the Street. Or if you've been watching this season of American Horror Story, he plays Harrison. Really, really like him. Markiplier, YouTube personality. He's over the top and he overplays himself all the time, but I think that would be really entertaining for the TV.
But is that the real him? That's the problem.
It's not the real him. I know that for
So,
a
like,
fact.
would he be Markiplier on the show, or would he just be?
I think he would be both. I think he would have an element of himself for house stuff, but diary room sessions would be more Markiplier. And I think that would be fantastic.
YouTube. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jake is going to crucify me for this one, but
Oh, I can't.
Julie Chen. I want to see Julie Chen in the house on the
Who's gonna host
opposite.
the show?
I don't care. I want her on the opposite side of the
And then
game
can
for
we
once.
please have Jocasta host the show?
Joe Costa. Yeah. Oh my God.
And
That'd be, or no. Rachel Riley. Rachel could host the show. She's a legend. Or Dr. Will Kirby.
yeah. And my final one is Robert Gronkowski, the Gronk. I think he would be fantastic.
The Gronk. Wasn't he part of the Big Brother takeover on season 17?
He was.
He was. That would.
He's a
definitely-
fan of
or
the show.
Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin too.
Yeah, he's a fan of the show. So if his team doesn't make it to Super Bowl, he's available.
Right.
And Kathy Griffin's not doing anything right now.
I'd
So-
like to see her because she's a big fan. Or Sarah Gilbert from The Talk. She was on Roseanne. Here's a YouTube person.
She's probably not available because Roseanne is coming back and they're probably filming some stuff, so she's probably not.
Oh yeah, but I don't think John Goodman's coming back though because his
He
character
is.
died.
No, he's coming back.
Oh, okay, because I thought his character died at the end of the season on season 9. But here's somebody though. I mean, if you're not gay, you don't know him, but he's a big YouTube personality, Davey Wavy.
Blah.
You don't like him? He's hot.
So he's a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, and they need those in the house, unfortunately.
No.
I think he would be good
No,
inside the.
he's a douchebag in the boringest way possible. He's not.
What do you
He's not
mean,
he's not a personality on on this type of show. he'd be fucking boring.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, do you still think he's cute, though? I think he's kind of
No.
good looking.
Ew, no.
You don't like guys with big muscles?
He's got a rat face. It's gross.
Oh, a rat face.
It's a rat face, but it's like lady face. It's weird.
Oh, okay, I get it. What else do we have to cover for the finale? Is that all? Have we covered everything?
Let's talk about Dr. Will. You know, a
Dr.
real
Will.
winner.
He is
I
definitely-
always love the winner sit downs
Mm-hmm.
because like the winner basically says like y'all suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't he
Fuck
say,
off.
like, are you all a bunch of poor losers? Is that what he said? Are you all a bunch of sore losers here?
Yeah, he basically telling them because everyone's complaining. He says, "Yeah, like I understand, but like here's the thing: all the shit that you're saying, you've all done it too. So shut the fuck up and just vote."
Yeah, I mean, they were all complaining, and Jason admitted he didn't sugarcoat anything. He said, yeah, I am a sore loser. He's
Yeah.
like, what is wrong with you? He was getting angry with them. You could just see it in his face. He was like, what is wrong with you people? I mean, are you just all a bunch of sore losers here? Come on. Get
And then
real.
like there's Alex who's like, "I've never lied once in this game," and Dr. Will's like, "Bitch, let me show you the receipts."
And he did. She did lie. She did lie in this game. Everybody that has gone into that house has lied, manipulated, and lured their way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least a jury. Paul being one of them, and Josh being carried the rest of the way.
I have never lied in this game. Kevin, I knew it was gonna be you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Cody was just sitting there laughing, though. He was, like, getting a kick out of it. He's like, oh my god, these people are really something else. I can't stand these people. Cody wanted to leave on when he was in the jury house. Says, I don't want to be here.
Well,
I
I would feel the same way.
I would. How would you feel sitting in the jury house knowing that you had to vote for somebody in the final two? You got to choose the lesser of the two evils.
Well,
I mean,
no, I'm
like,
just talking about the damn people in the house with you.
Right. I mean, then he had to live with them inside jury house. As a matter of fact, at one point this season, Julie Chen was talking about live feeds for the jury house, which I think would be stupid.
I think that'd be boring. Like they're
It
not.
would be because it's not
There's
game.
gonna be no.
It's-
There's gonna be no drama. Nobody's gonna be
Speaking-
talking. Everyone's gonna be sleeping.
Speaking of Jury House, I loved Cody in the Jury House.
Yeah, he was just sitting there like he was getting a kick out of everything. He was just like, I'm just going to sit back and watch all this drama
He
unfold. I'm
just
not saying.
got up and walked the fuck off at one point.
Yeah, he's like, bye from the living room. He's like, I'm not participating in this. Goodbye.
I love Cody. He's the best.
And everyone else loves Cody.
Yep.
So bring
Yeah,
Cody back.
exactly. He's got that smirk, you know, like that. Like, I can't do his smirk, but he does it so well. But a big news, little update on Jessica and Cody has nothing to do with Big Brother related, but since they have been such a success on this season of Big Brother, they have been cast to participate in the 30th season of The Amazing Race. So this fall, it'll show them on The Amazing Race this coming fall, and I'm definitely going to watch to see how they do it. I think they could do well in this game better because they don't have to align with anybody. They got each other in the game. They race at their own pace away from everybody. It all comes down to whether they make it back to the checkpoint or not.
Yeah, I mean, the Amazing Race is. I like the Amazing Race because everything is based on your own merit, and
Right.
other people are not a factor. You just got to be faster than them or more skilled than them, whatever it is you got to do. And I always love when I like when people from other shows go on the Amazing Race, and I love when they fail because it's hilarious to
Yeah.
watch. But I want these two to do good because like they didn't really get a fair shot. I mean, yes, they did get a fair shot this season, but it was just like a shit ass cast. But if they're able to play on their own and they can focus on themselves, I think they could do well in the Amazing Race actually.
I think
Yeah.
they could too. I mean, you know what? They played together as a team in the Big Brother house, separate from the rest of the house. I think they could separate themselves too in this race and not worry about anybody but themselves and getting further to the checkpoint. I think they would also do good on Survivor, I think.
Well, I think Cody would do well on Survivor, and Jess could be one of those Black Widows on Survivor. And so Black Widow is a term for the people in Survivor who, or more specifically the ladies of Survivor who are there at the beginning. Nobody's really looking at them. They just kind of like, oh, they're the pretty girl. They're not really gonna do anything. So like they go with the numbers, the majority. And then like by the middle of the season, like the fire like ignites under their ass and they start going at it with everybody and they end up getting like 4 or 5 people out by their own hands.
Yep.
Right, and by the way, you got me curious, Jacob. So when we go off the air, I have another question for you as soon as we get off the air. But for now, we got to focus on this podcast for Big Brother. Is there anything else that we have to add, or have we covered everything pretty much for the finale?
Oh, just disgusting people this season. I didn't like it. It's
Right, but there's always Celebrity Big Brother this winter. Are we going to do a podcast covering Celebrity Big Brother?
We're gonna try to work it in, yeah. If we have the time, I'd like to do it.
But we're not going to do a Big Brother over the top podcast, correct?
Probably not. I don't think we'll get to that.
Yeah, Big Brother over the top only lasted one season. I don't know if there's any way it's coming back.
I
If they're
doubt
only because now they're putting in Celebrity Big Brother, but not in the same category as Big Brother over the top. It's actually going to be broadcasted on TV on CBS and not CBS All Access. But it was a very wonderful summer, I have to say, working with all three of you. I'm including Danny because he did join us for the premiere. I had a good time. I loved Jacob's makeup. I loved his opinions, Jacob's makeup.
It's better than Jacob's ladder.
And as always, I love working with you, Dom. I think we made another good season of Big Brother, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys this winter and next summer for Big Brother Season 20. So, Dom, where can the people find you?
Find me down below at... What happened to my name? Phenomedom. Phenomedom.
Jacob, where can the people find you?
You can find me and all of my giggles and gore and monsters of mayhem here on YouTube at Jacob Salazar, or you can find me on Twitter, tweet me throughout the life at ToNoverland. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Nowhereland Society. Thank you both so much for putting up with me and accepting my giggles and gore and monsters of mayhem brand into your lovely show. I've had a blast.
Always, Jacob. You're always welcome. You can find me down below on Twitter at Zupa23, ZUPA23. So, from outside the Big Brother house, I am Luke Labignera. This is Jacob Salazar and Dom Greco. We will see you this winter for Celebrity Big Brother and next summer